Hello, winners, and welcome to Two for the Win with your hosts, Nick and Will. Have you ever wondered about you seen a place on a movie, maybe inspired you to take a vacation? Well, we're going to blend a little pop culture with travel today in this Wanderlust Wednesday. But before we do, please be sure to subscribe, share, and follow Two for the Win on your favorite platform. I want to give a shout out to Nick Menard and Associates with Dream Vacations for sponsoring today's episode. Thank you, Nick Menard.
You're very welcome, hello winners.
Hello, hello. So we decided to try something a little different because obviously we talk about a lot of different places that we've been. We talk about different vendors and showcase it, some of the different cruise line ships, destinations, but we are both pop culture fans. We both like movies, and we're like, you know what? Why don't we talk about some movies that maybe inspired us to visit some places, and maybe that gives some ideas to our winners and listeners. But any high level thoughts before we jump into it?
Yeah, so I know that when you listen to this, you're probably thinking already. You're going, oh yeah, I mean, which movie did I watch that I been to, visit because of the movies, or that I want to go?
Mhm.
So I have a few movies in my mind that I know I visit some location because of it, and I have a lot of them that I didn't visit the location yet, but that's because of the movie that I got interest first. So we thought it was gonna be good as we do the same thing for Mindset Monday for a couple of episodes, and so yeah, we wanted to do the same about the travel.
There we go. So, would you like to have honors? You want to kick us off with the first one, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, I mean, I can do that. I can do that. So yeah. So for me, I know that when we talked about it like the other day about potentially doing an episode like this, I directly thought about one movie, and the movie is The Revenant. So that's the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. If you remember, he's a wild guy who doesn't speak language. He speaks his own language, and he lives like in the woods. And I thought, oh my god, this is just the most gorgeous like visual that movie, and I directly wanted to know where that movie was filmed.
Mhm.
And so they were filming in a couple of locations. But what I wanted to see most, based on the research I made, was Banff. So Banff in Canada, which is an hour and a half driving from Calgary, so Western Canada. It's before Vancouver. You have something like called Lake Louise, who is very popular. The most beautiful picture of lake you can take. That's over there. You have the lake, and you probably, if you Google it, you see it directly. And I'm pretty sure the production company will put some image there. And you see like the mountains around, and you have the lake in the middle, and it's white, like light white. And I said, I want to see that. And I went and I see it, and it was fantastic. I mean, the movie came out in 2015. I was there in 2017, and I went to Banff and visit like I went to the mountain and saw the little river. It's very typical, and I could literally rewatch the movie while being there. So this is definitely the first one that I was thinking about. The rest was filmed in Argentina,
Mm.
but the main part was literally in Calgary, in Alberta, which is Banff. So yeah, that was my first one, and I would encourage anyone to watch the movie first of all, because it's a very interesting movie, well done. Some scene that you would never forget.
I was
And
going to say, did you get friendly with the bear when you're in Banff?
no, I saw some, but no, I didn't sleep in one. If you don't understand, just watch the movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I encourage you also to go visit Banff, because it's a gorgeous area. People tend to go very far to try to to see something new. Well, go to across the border to Canada, and you can literally have one of the most beautiful places you're ever gonna be. So
Yeah. Oh, that's a great one. For me, I got a little micro ones. Like I didn't take like outside of one, which I'll mention later, a big destination trip. But when I lived in Vegas, um, the Godfather II, there's a very iconic scene that took place in Tahoe. And
mm,
so I had to do some business up in Reno, which Reno calls itself the smallest, biggest town in the US. And so I went to and took a little road trip, rented a car, and went to Tahoe. Very beautiful area. In the summer, great to be out on the lake. And the winter, it's great for skiing. But what first turned me on to Tahoe was watching The Godfather II. So
There we go.
that was really cool.
Anything you can say about the location itself, like the things that people may expect going and
I would. It's it's a little off the beaten path. So it's about. I would say it's not too far from Reno, but because you're going through the mountains, it takes a little bit. I would say if you're going in the winter to go skiing, just pay attention to the weather because you're driving through the mountains, it could take you a lot longer to get to where you need to go in the winter. But Tahoe is beautiful, massive lake. You get a lot of people from Northern California that goes over there because it's not too far. But it's beautiful. They have good skiing in the winter. On the summer, you can be on a boat, chill out. It's definitely a place where people of means will hang out. And every summer, for those of you who maybe follow football, they have a celebrity golf tournament in Tahoe that involves a lot of famous athletes. And in fact, I think it's coming up next month, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you see, I've never been, so that's a place that I will keep in mind now for one of my next venture in US. Perfect. The next one, keep in mind, I'm originally from Belgium, from Europe. So for me, it was wow. So when the Pirates of the Caribbean came out, early 2000s, the Bahamas, St. Vincent, and all the places that the Granados and stuff. I mean, for me, it was gorgeous to see all the places because he goes literally from island to island and everything is filmed in the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was before I went there for the first time. So I know we have a lot of listeners from Europe, from India, from Canada. So for them, they maybe never been or would like to see it. Well, and also the tourism boomed after this movie for bunch of companies and vendors in the Bahamas start doing like pirates tour because of this. No, it's a little bit less because he's getting older. But I remember the first time I went to the Bahamas, they had like the Pirate of Caribbean tour. So of course it became like a thing. Discover the treasure of the Bahamas and stuff like that. So a movie can also impact tourism drastically. And I have a couple of other movies I want to mention that the tourism boom in those area because of a movie, and some even the country boom because of it, and still to this day. So more to come, but this is one definitely I wanted to mention because everybody probably saw at least one of them, and everything has been done in the Bahamas. And being a 20 years old kid from Europe, I saw for the first time the Bahamas, and I'm like, I want to see it live one day. And then now, of course, I live next to it, and I don't even go out of the ship when I go because I go all the time to the Bahamas. But for someone who never been, that's a gorgeous area to visit.
Yeah, totally agree. Bahamas is beautiful, and unique things like the wild pigs swimming in the water,
exactly.
and stuff like that. For me, the big one, I'll get it out of the way because for those of you who follow the podcast, you heard me talk about this several episodes ago. But New Zealand, Lord of the Rings, and so I went to Hobbiton. That exceeded expectations. I was a little worried I might be blowing it up too big in my mind, and then it wouldn't live up to it. It still exceeded expectations. New Zealand, just a beautiful country. In that Hobbiton, which is, they literally have 44 of these little hobbit houses still from Lord of the Rings, and two of them you can actually, walk around. They're like mini homes and go in, but that's fascinating. And like I talked about on the episode before, definitely am going to go back to New Zealand, a beautiful country. But Lord of the Rings inspired it.
That's definitely a big one. And that when I was talking just before about some place not even increased, but the country changed because of a movie. Literally, New Zealand is the one. I was reading the tourism increased after the first Lord of the Rings by 1,200%, and the price of properties increased threefold after the second one.
Wow!
And so the country literally became rich because of the movie who's been
Shout
filmed.
out Peter Jackson.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He should have some share, no?
Yeah. Well, he is a Kiwi, so I'm sure he benefited because he owns properties. So
no. So yeah, that's the beauty of what you can accomplish by doing so. People look at marketing. Well, here's marketing.
Yeah.
The next one I have is a famous one again. I went blockbuster a lot. I mean, I have some maybe less known, but this one definitely everybody know, Gladiator.
Oh.
So the Gladiator, everybody know about Rome, but Rome increased by the tourism in the Colosseum increased by 632% after
Wow.
Gladiator, and it's still higher than before Gladiator came to this day. So Gladiator literally inspired people to go visit even more the Colosseum.
Strength and honor.
Exactly, but I mean, can you imagine? I mean, it's already like an historic, one of the most historical plays that people can visit, and because of a movie, it increased even more drastically. So people went there because of the movie. Is the topic of our podcast today.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very very great. Also, the second part of the movie was filmed in Morocco at the Ait Ben Haddou. And it increased the tourism by 1,400% after the movie. So it not only inspired people to travel to Rome, Italy, but also to Morocco to visit Ait
Wow.
Ben Haddou.
Wow. That's an interesting fun fact. I would have never guessed it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. For me, I had this plan. I flew to Seattle and I wanted to do a road trip down to San Francisco and then fly to Vegas. And one of the things I definitely wanted to do when I was driving through the state of Oregon was see an iconic scene where they filmed the movie Goonies with
Oh wow.
the one-eyed Pete
Scenic.
pirate, and where they have where the ship comes out and there's this rock that's in the middle of the water, and it's really kind of unique. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And went there, and it looks the same as what it did in the movie. And Oregon, in my opinion, is probably the most beautiful state landscaping wise in the United States. The trees, they have Crater Lake, just a lot to see in Oregon. But if you're a fan of the Goonies, hey, you guys, check out place where they filmed the Goonies in the scene with with the pirate ship.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember like it was yesterday. Choco.
Yeah, baby Ruth.
I mean, that was a phenomenal movie. When I was a kid, that was the movie.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
literally. So
My boys actually watched it literally. I think they've watched it more than I have. They watched it like 10 times. Like when they were kids, they would watch it a ton. They just loved it.
yeah, that's super hilarious.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, the next one is something that also everybody saw, and maybe it inspired you at some point because I know you go there a lot for work, but Harry Potter.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
So Harry Potter for United Kingdom, also, of course, but it's not only about London because it's very known. You know, the Harry Potter studio tour in London is very popular. But it also inspired people to go to the Hogwarts Express in Scotland. So that inspire people to actually visit some other part of United Kingdom instead of England and London more particular, but also go to Scotland. In the travel agency, I have a lot of requests about Scotland, and sometimes this comes up. Like I want to see, the Harry Potter piece that's been filmed in Scotland. So that's a thing. That's definitely a thing. And yeah, so a lot of people after the movie wanted to visit the platform 9¾ at King's Cross Station, and that's what inspired to open a tour Harry Potter studio in London.
Okay.
So we all remember when he's running and he needs to run into the wall, and it's just in between the 9.5 and the 10th. So of course when you watch Harry Potter, yeah, man, I mean, it's clear that it's inspired from. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
J.K. Rowling, of course, is from there, but it's definitely if you go to London, you will see a lot of things that make you remember about the movie. So definitely a place to go if you've never been. We talked about London a few times during our Wanderlust Wednesday podcast, but literally, if you've never been, you need to visit this city once in your life, at least, because there's so much history there and so much thing to see. It's a place to go.
Yeah, one of the movie that inspired me to go to London first, even though it gets filmed in a lot of different locations, was James Bond. Like Sean Connery, I thought was like the coolest man on the planet when he played James Bond, and you see the scenes, even though again he's usually around the world, but there was enough scenes filmed in London. That's what inspired me to really want to see London. But then Harry Potter did as well. So yeah, great city to visit. I'll throw a little weird one on it. It wasn't necessarily the inspiration for why I went to this place, but I definitely checked it out when I was doing a little fun fact history before I went to go, is Washington, D.C.,
Mm.
and seeing the steps from the movie Exorcist, where they
Mm-hmm.
film that and do that. We went by there. It's right
Mm-hmm.
in the Georgetown area of DC. So for those of you who saw that movie when it came out at the time, freaked out a ton of people, still regarded to this day as one of the top 5
Mm-hmm.
horror movies of all time. And they have it marked, and you can go walk up those steps where they had a very infamous scene in the Exorcist movie.
No, good point. And again, go back to Wanderlust Wednesday when we talk about DC, we talk about Georgetown area as well. We went to stop and eat an amazing place on the water there on that side. So definitely highly recommend that. Now I'm gonna switch to a movie I watched. I really liked. It's a comedy. Not a big comedy fan normally, but this one I really liked.
Yeah, you
And
didn't like my Austin Powers
oh
recommendation.
Lord, that's awful. That's not comedy. That's garbage. But that one I never been. So a movie I saw and I was like, I want to go, and it's Singapore. And after the movie Crazy Rich Asians. So
Oh,
this movie was actually like a romantic comedy kind of thing. It's a Sunday kind of movie, but I thought it was well done. And so it elevates Singapore tourism by 375% the year after the movie came out, during the year. So it increased drastically after the. But if you watch the movie, you see like Singapore is a very rich city. All right. So it's amazing. You have those very famous hotel that you see, the two hotel on the side, and it's the thing on top who connect both of those hotels. And it's very, very pricey and expensive area to live and to go to for tourism as well. But after watching this movie, I literally put Singapore in my list of city to visit. And just to give some more information, detailed information about what to see in Singapore based off what's been shown in the movie, the cosmopolitan destination highlight include the Marina Bay Sands, Gardens by the Bay, and Newton Food Center. And if you watch the movie, you will recognize very quickly which are the three, and it will probably give you. I mean, it gave me and some other people I know like the willingness to go and visit. So even in some movie where a little bit different, you can find amazing destinations.
yeah, no, that is a really good one, and a little outside the box one to cite. For me, I think it was a movie that I saw that inspired me to see this place. Like you, I haven't gone yet, but it's on my bucket list. I know we've talked about trying to maybe make it happen next year. Is the second Karate Kid movie, because they filmed that in Okinawa, and that really just seeing the landscape there and the culture and everything really planted the seed to go to Japan. And even though I haven't done it yet, it was definitely that movie which was the first impetus to really get me to get an interest in Japan. There's been a number of movies filmed with involving Japan, but that definitely whet the appetite as a young lad, and hope to cross that off the list here soon.
Absolutely, I'm the same way. I would love to go. Definitely a destination. I have actually client right now who are there. Actually, right now, and they send me some message already, some email telling me that it's gorgeous and they should have listened to me and stay longer than the few days that they plan to stay in Japan. So definitely something to cross out of your list. The next one for me, it's another one who never been, because Asia, it's a place that I need to visit a lot more. Europe, Africa, America, I did a lot of it, not everything, but a lot of it. But Asia is definitely like a continent that I need to explore a lot more. But the next one is from Asia as well. It's The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember like it was yesterday. I went. It was 2000, year 2000, and I remember because it came out at the same time as Mr. Ripley.
Oh yeah, Talented Mr.
Yeah,
Ripley.
Talented Mr. Ripley.
Yeah.
And it was both coming at the same time, and I wanted to see the Talented Mr. Ripley, but it was sold out at the theater in Brussels. And I went to the second movie that was top on the list, and it was Beach, and I actually liked it. I didn't really want to go at first, but I ended up going, and I really, really liked it. But the idyllic place that is in display during that movie is incredible, and it's played at Maya Bay in Thailand.
Oh, okay.
So backpackers were inspired to discover the hidden paradise that Leonardo DiCaprio found. It became so popular the government had to close the bay temporarily to preserve the ecosystem. And
Wow.
that's the effect of a blockbuster movie with a superstar. So yeah, the tourism explode by 1,800% after the movie came out. So again, driving revenue, driving economy, thanks to again, someone who decide to use your destination as a movie.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Really interesting facts too, and you see the impact that it has. I'm gonna go way old school. Of a movie that was originally filmed, I believe, in 1932.
Wow,
The
just
original,
before I was born.
Yeah, the original King Kong. When he did the Empire State Building, I'm like, I gotta see the Empire State Building. And when I first went to New York, that was like the first thing I wanted to go see, and it was all from when I was a little kid seeing all that. The graphics back then was so terrible, but I always I felt so bad for King Kong, and I'm like, I want to see where he climbed. But yeah, King Kong inspired me to really want to see the Empire State Building.
That's a good one, actually. That's a very good one. Yeah, good. So yeah, I know we're almost at the end, but I wanted to I have a couple more. Definitely one that I want to talk about is Black Panther.
Oh,
so when Black
you want to go to Wakanda? I don't know if that exists.
No, but it's
Wakanda forever.
Yeah, it's been played in South Africa, I know we talk about a lot because we have a lot of business, safari going to South Africa, or you're wanting to see the Victoria Falls and etc. And so when you watch the Black Mamba and you see like all the places that those battles happen, it's in South Africa. And so it's South Africa, Uganda, and a little piece in South Korea. But the majority at Busan. Yeah.
Okay.
So though Wakanda is fictional, African destination like South Africa saw renewed interest, as did Busan, South Korea, due to the high-speed car chase scene. So again, this is a, if fan or not fan of the movie, that's not the goal here. The goal is really to make sure that you understand that you are able to discover plays that you may not know just by watching a movie.
Right.
And it's the same with music. Like I love classical music from soundtrack of movies. So I multi-time I go watch a movie at the theater or watch it at the house, and I love the music. I directly want to download the whole album or the song of that specific main song of the movie. And same with destination for me. You can find great music, great destination. You can find a lot like inspiration, like we talk about in Monday Mindset, where you can have quotes that you want to repeat to your team or your peers or your partner. And so that's definitely a reason why we wanted to do this episode. And please, like we're not done, but please, after listening to this or watching on YouTube, even better, don't hesitate to let us know, which movie inspired you to go to destination, or which destination you never been and you want to go because of a movie. So it would be great to bring that up, on any of our future podcasts. But do you have another one?
I'll do two quick ones.
Okay.
One is Crocodile Dundee. It has inspired me to want to go to Australia, which I was glad to be able to check that off the list now. I've been there a couple times. This other one isn't a movie, but again, I'll probably date myself. But as a kid, there used to be this TV show called Magnum P.I.
In 1942.
1942. And it was filmed in Hawaii. And he drove a Ferrari, and he was a private investigator in Hawaii. And my mom and my grandmother loved him.
Me too.
My grandmother actually had a poster of this guy on her wall. I'm like, that's a little weird. But Magnum P.I. TV show, but inspired me to just seeing all the scenes in Hawaii. And I was glad to be able to get out there a few years ago.
I was watching the same as you, so definitely with the car and that's amazing. And his right hand always full.
Yeah, I think Olivier has his car actually.
Yeah, our friends
or the same model. Yeah.
And you said you had two?
Well, that was it, the Crocodile Dundee and the Magnum.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
So the last one I have, and I mean, again, that movie, I think that they filmed everywhere at least once across their 9 or 10 episodes. It's Mission Impossible.
Oh,
But I wanted to talk about the Fallout, Mission Episode Fallout in 2018, and that was about Abu Dhabi. Because, there were a boom at that time about Dubai. And of course, from Dubai, you can easily go to Abu Dhabi. And Abu Dhabi increased drastically in their revenue from tourism after Mission Impossible was filmed over there. So definitely like a place that you maybe want to go. Again, I've been to Dubai. I've never been to Abu Dhabi, but I think that it's on my list. If I ever go back to Dubai, which I believe I will, I wanna definitely do the tour, the 1-day tour to Abu Dhabi to experience it as well, because it's
that's a good one.
pretty historical and pretty amazing when you see the monument.
Yeah, there's really some great spots in the Middle East. I know being in the States, it's, because of a variety of reasons, is maybe not the primary destination a lot of people think of, but there are some fascinating places
100%.
to see for sure. One last inspiration, just because I like pop culture, and I haven't been to this place, but it inspired me to want to go, is Fast Five. Brazil.
Oh.
Go to Brazil. And then we know, we have a friend, Mateus, who talks about Carnival there. But when I saw Fast Five and they had all those scenes in Rio and everything, I'm like, yeah, at some point, got to check it out.
Absolutely. Brazil is definitely on my list as well. I've never been either. So.
Yeah. A lot of places to see in the world.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool. Anything else, or should we wrap?
No, I think we should wrap. We can keep going. We because but I think let's see what our winners are thinking about this change of pace a little bit, and then we can always revisit or not, depending on how you guys like it.
Yeah. So hopefully you got some inspiration and maybe thought of some places that you hadn't thought of before, whether it was places we mentioned or you're thinking of movies or something like, you know what, that is a place to check.
Or series.
Yeah, absolutely. And if so, you can contact today's sponsor, Nick Menard and Associates with Dream Vacations, to make that your dream vacation become a reality. So thank you for sharing your thoughts. And
thank you.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. This was a fun one. So, okay, winners, that'll wrap up this Wanderlust Wednesday. Please be sure to subscribe, share, and follow Two for the Win on your favorite platform. And as Nick mentioned, give us a shout out on any one of these platforms. Send us an email, drop us a message if you had an idea or an inspiration you want us to cover in a Wanderlust Wednesday episode. Happy to do so. That'll do it for now. We'll see you next week. Travel well.
Bye, winners.